third and the last question, which changed my life forever. He told me, can you teach at my classes this subject? And I said, yes.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Guru Gyan. My name is Sanjay Chakrabarti. I am the founder of Tag8. Today's episode is with someone who literally held my hand and got me through the finish line of the Chartered Accountancy examination. I am absolutely delighted to have with me entrepreneur and educationalist par excellence, Professor JK Shah. Sir, it's an absolute honor. I can't tell you how glad I am to have you on the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sanjay. Thank you for this opportunity and honor. So happy to be interviewed by the person whom I taught once. And I must tell you, this is second interview of my life. Hope I stand up to your expectations. Thank you once again.
So it's an absolute honor, as I said. I'll get into the immediate first step. 40 years and creating such an incredible brand. How did the story start? How did you get into teaching?
Well, so getting into teaching was completely accidental, though there are so many things like that have happened in my life that I stopped believing that anything is coincidental. I perhaps believe everything is well designed and it was to happen that way. To answer your question, you say I come from a small village in Gujarat, the population of which is currently also, I think, less than 1,000 people. I did my schooling up to third standard there, then went to a slightly bigger village, did my schooling. I studied up to 12th standard in Gujarat in Gujarati medium. And then I came to Mumbai. There are 3 chartered accountants who I can say practically have been architects of my career. Everything may seem coincidental, but I don't think so now, going back and looking back. So one person by the name Sharad Gandhi, he brought me to Mumbai. I come from extremely poor family. My parents never went to the school even. And in the entire extended family of my parents also, I'm the only person who managed to be graduate, forget about chartered accountancy. So I came to Mumbai, Sharad Gandhi brought me. Because of extreme poverty, I started ladies' purse business in Mumbai, supplying in small shops. That is where second chartered accountant, Mr. Jaswant Vora, who happened to be the secretary of my hostel and himself a chartered accountant. He told me, don't do it. Do chartered accountancy. Otherwise, lifetime you will remain poor like your parents. Somehow it clicked and it affected me positively. I gave up the business and did chartered accountancy. So coming to your real question now, third chartered accountant, Mr. DK Samani now comes into play. After appearing for Inter-CA exam, I thought I would fail in mathematics paper. We had maths in Inter-CA also. So I joined his coaching classes after appearing for the exam. I paid the fees. And luckily, as the result was out, not only I got through, but I secured 29th rank also, all India. Wow. So I went to my principal. I told him, sir, I got through. I joined the classes thinking I would fail. Can you please refund because I'm extremely poor? He said, no, I cannot refund, but I'll give you one subject free of charge for finals here. In hindsight, Sanjay, I'm very happy he did not refund because I continued as a student there. When I cleared my final CA, I went to offer box of Para. That time he asked me 3 questions. First, how was the OR professor, operations research professor? I attended OR classes there. I said, excellent professor. And because of that only, I secured about 75 marks in operations research. His second question, can you solve all the questions in a study material? I said yes. And that time I got reasonable hint about what he was going to ask me in the third question. Third and the last question, which changed my life forever. He told me, can you teach at my classes this subject? And I said yes. Now, in a way coincidental, but I still don't believe in that. My real worry was I studied in Gujarati medium. I did not know to speak English also. I thought I will do it. But at the end, I thought the risk sir is taking, not me. At the most, I'll fail. He will dismiss me. Since I had nothing to lose also. I started as a professor in operations research. Immediately in about a month's time, I gave him the advice that, sir, why don't you start costing classes? Nobody teaches costing in whole of country. And costing used to be the toughest subject at that time. And I had developed my own ways of handling standard costing and marginal costing when I was in InterC only. And I was in hostel. Sanjay, advantage of hostel is you get so many people as your victims who are prepared to learn from you, you know. So
Right.
I was teaching that time. Even when I was InterCA student, I used to teach final CA people also that time. Of course, elementary part. My principal, DK Samani sir, agreed. He gave me that subject, started the first batch with 7 students. And that is how I got into this profession. It worked very well. I was lucky to get some of the finest people as my students in the audience. And some of them you know already, like you were talking about Pranav Saita, you're talking about Hitesh, you're talking about Nilesh Vikamsi, and so on. Hitesh and Nilesh Vikamsi were part of very first batch of my 7 students. So that is how my teaching journey started.
That's absolutely outstanding. So I'm very curious that how does this and you gave a name of a few, but you have the Union Minister Shri Piyush Goyal, Kumaramangalam Birla, Nilesh Shah, the stock market whiz. I mean, the name is just countless, and unfortunately, people like us therefore struggle to be even close to that whole list of awesome alumni that you have. How do you attract this kind of a talent? How does it happen? I mean, this is something very unusual. From one deck, you have so many stalwarts coming through.
I would like to tell you this way, that in costing, I basically, costing and holding company accounts. These are the 2 things which made my career. As far as I was student, practically all these things were taught only mechanically. Standard costing with, a big box of formulas, marginal costing also mechanical, holding company entirely mechanical. I developed very logical ways to study these chapters. And the things which were so tough, especially costing, I made them the things manageable for the students. I somehow could manage to, convince the students that these things are within your reach. You don't have to remember anything by heart, because now you will agree with me, standard costing is not some mathematics or something like that which should be mechanical. It's so logical. It's all about variances. Marginal costing, about decision making. So there is no place for formula. And I luckily got a chance to change the way the students perceived costing. Costing was a big threat to the students' career that time. And because of this, and since I was the first to start, I got that advantage of being first. So Kumar Mangalam Birla came, Pranav Saita, and he secured first rank in final CA. Before Kumar Mangalam Birla, Piyush Goyal had come. Piyush Goyal was not very big that time naturally, but he secured final CA second rank. And that instantly put me in the map, then series of people.
I didn't know. I didn't know that he was a ranker. I mean,
Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, he was ranker at inter and final both, and at both the levels, second rank.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Then Nilesh Shah, if you know, who is now Kotak AMC CMD.
Right.
And he secured first rank in final CA and costing 100 out of 100. So, all these things went a long way in making me what I am. To be honest with you, Sanjay, many students tell me that I made their career, I helped them, and so on. Whereas, when the students say such things, everybody likes. I also really enjoy listening to all those things. I would be bluffing if I say, no, I don't. I do enjoy. But deep down, I feel, and I tell them also, that more than I contributing to your career, it is the students community who contributed to my career. They made me what I am all about. They gave me a chance to perform on the platform. Such brilliant people, with or without JK Shah, would have made it anywhere. But JK Shah would not have been what he is, but for such people in the audience. So students community stood behind me all throughout. They trusted me. And I'm happy to say that I could stand up to their expectations and I could contribute something towards their success. So that is the reason why I am what I am.
So I can pretty much sense a lot of humility coming out of it, but really great perspective there. So one thing that always shoots in that there are particular businesses, and education is one of them, wherein getting one right is possible, but scaling up is seen as the biggest challenge. And in your situation, while I understand that you do have now a hybrid or an online segment of it, but you are predominantly, you built your entire brand on an offline basis. How do you manage scale up and quality in the education field?
Yeah. So, coaching industry or coaching profession, people never ever thought was scalable. They always thought that, no, you can have maybe 2-3 classrooms or 8-10 classrooms in a city, maybe 8-10 professors, and so on. I'm happy to say I changed that thinking completely. It was a myth which I successfully could shatter, actually. Challenges are always there. Challenges are always there. In fact, I can tell you, till today in India, there are hardly 2 or 3 coaching classes who are maximum in 2 cities or at the most 3 cities. They could, all of them are chartered accountants, brilliant chartered accountants, but somehow nobody could scale it up. I could do it by putting a system in place. System, getting new faculties, training them. Why coaching classes normally cannot be scaled up? Because proprietors feel that in whichever city they are, they can give good quality. But how they will stick to that quality when they go to other cities? And I exactly handle that issue very well by having a systematic training program for the new faculties. So very rigorous program from beginning, from thought to finish. This line used to be of E&Y, I think. I don't remember.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And I think you were with E&Y only once upon a time.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes, absolutely.
So from thought to finish, I developed training system. So much so that my objective was that a well-trained teacher should appear to be as experienced as 25 years experienced professor is to the students community. So how to start a chapter, how to introduce, how to solve practical question, how to explain the concept, how to handle students' queries, a detailed, exhaustive training program. The whole idea is somewhat like McDonald's. You eat in New York or in Mumbai or in Ahmedabad, taste is largely same, though the cooks are all different. exactly the same way. We first stuck to the qualification of teachers, chartered accountants. Most of them were our students. So my job was simple. The standards of discipline, etc., I did not have to tell them much. They got inculcated into them automatically. And teaching style, they had seen me teaching, they adopted partly, and we trained them. And once a small town student starts getting the same quality as Mumbai student gets, then scalability becomes a guarantee, because nobody wants to leave the city or hometown if you get the same quality. That is how we are currently in 39 cities, operating about 85 centers and about 290 full-time faculties. But we have succeeded because quality we could maintain and complete uniformity, same study material, same test series program, same timetable system, same syllabus completion, same seminars, and so on. So practically, I could replicate Mumbai in 38 other cities, and that was the reason why this business became scalable.
Wow, it's a sir. I understand it from a theoretical standpoint what you mentioned, but hats off to you. To actually executing it is a completely different story, and I think the ability to do that has just been outstanding. There actually, I have the other question is, what has been that biggest one or two challenges that you faced in the last 40 years in your journey?
Well, challenges were of two types. One external, other was internal. External, largely uncontrollable, that is, the policies being made and changed by the CA Institute, like the structure of the CA program, the curriculum, a subject added, removed. All those things always would be a challenge. The first time I faced this challenge, and it demoralized me a bit, it was somewhere maybe in 88, 89 or so, I wouldn't remember exactly, where CA Institute made it compulsory for the people to be graduate before they can join CA course. Now, once it is mandatory that you have to be graduate before you can enter, the number of students would fall drastically. And I really had rethinking whether I'm in the right profession. But then we developed the ways, we introduced new courses like ICWS, CS, and so on. And somehow we met the challenge. Interestingly, if I tell you, Sanjay, the subject costing, which made my career, is now no longer in final CA curriculum of chartered accountancy. In a lighter in a lighter vein, I can say CA Institute waited for me to stop teaching, and then they removed the subject itself. Now it is there as that CC requirement which used to be there in our time as well. We had to write some 10, 15 CC papers. Now only 2 papers students have to write, but it is no longer part of curriculum. So one challenge was institute's policy, the result. Now it's open secret that the result that finally we get is not the result given by the paper checkers. After that result is submitted to the council, they do some grace mark, and they somehow control the result, so to say. So sometimes even the entrance exam result is as low as 12%. Now, when entrance level exam becomes so tough, then it affects the inflow into our profession. It demoralizes the students. So that is one aspect. But there we don't have much to do because we can't end it. We can't do anything about it. We have no say naturally, and it is institute's policy. But somehow we have learned over the years to handle that challenge. The other challenge is internal, which is the attrition of the professors. Our industry is entirely and exclusively human being dependent industry. And attrition is a common feature in every industry, but all the more so in coaching industry. Because The people who teach at my classes are as qualified as I am qualified. And any ambitious chartered accountant can always think, like, if JK Shah could do it, why can't I? So attrition was the other challenge. Luckily, we never faced that challenge. But I knew this could be the challenge because in my own career, almost 7 to 8 big time chartered accountant coaching class owners really made the organization truly big, and then they collapsed. The single most reason for collapse was attrition by faculties. So I learned at early age that this can affect anyone and everyone. And therefore, we developed a model whereby we don't give professors the reason to leave JK Shah classes. But if at all they decide to leave, at least they would not be having any impact on JK Shah classes. They have a birthright to make their career, and we can't stop them. But our policy, our system, our timetable system, faculty placement, all have been so well thought that practically people do not leave. I'm happy to say in 40 years, in all 30 professors left JK Shah classes, of which 19 have come back also. In all, we are minus 11. Just imagine, Sanjay, only 11 professors have left JK Shah classes in all in 40 years.
Wow.
That is possible because we could handle this very well. Not that we have handled the problem, we have prevented the problem from coming into being. One, by treating faculties well, giving them what is promised, giving them good exposure towards the students, giving them job satisfaction, and not giving them a chance to leave JK Shah classes. So attrition could have been the biggest problem. Luckily, we have handled it very well, or should I say, we have prevented that from becoming a problem to us.
Outstanding, sir. So, in fact, I was looking at some of the reported financials for the last year, and the top line was almost touching 100, and your bottom line was at 1/3, which in a consulting zone is actually the best model to have. So, when you have, which is, I would say, a service industry oriented kind of a business, to actually have a 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 is the salaries you pay, 1/3 is your admin cost, and 1/3 is your take home. So I think you have got that right to the T. I guess that also is part of the success factor, that you don't want to grab everything and keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
I'm sure would have made it a more inclusive kind of a setup.
Yes. So, we were very careful maximizing our top line, protecting our bottom line. And COVID was very challenging time. But I'm happy to say in COVID year, we made the highest profit of my career. The next year, we made the profit even higher by carefully controlling the cost. And every cost of JK Shah classes, which was not income of my faculties or my staff, we controlled very well. Yes, we did not reduce faculty or staff income to maximize our profit. But except that everywhere, very carefully, we control the cost also. Then we diversified also, new courses we started, we expanded also. So the net result of all these factors was that we could enhance the top line, and not only we could protect, but we could increase our bottom line as well.
Super. So jumping into the Veranda deal, and I can pretty much see, having known you as well, this is your child. JK Shah is your child. It carries your name. So this is not even a child who has a different name. It's you. It's very. I'm sure for the whole world, it's very difficult to differentiate JK Shah classes from the man who created it. Uh, how did this Veranda deal come in? How do you kind of from a both as the owner of the business as well as the person who's given birth to it, how do you kind of let go of something like this?
To be honest, Sanjay, there was no compromise at all from our side. In fact, Veranda and JK Shah perhaps were made for each other. The deal that we got satisfied every requirement that any rational person in my place could have. For example, considering my age and having put so many years, I would always look for a lesser and lesser active role in the profession. Veranda gave me that chance. Up to 25, I have to be, up to March 2025, I have to work actively. And thereafter, also I can continue, but I'll be chairman for life. And once I stop working actively, I'll be non-executive chairman. So I'll be able to defend my name in the organization lifetime. That is one thing. Two, I could get the capitalized value of my achievement timely, because in most professions, to grow is difficult. To stay there is more difficult. But to get timely exit is the most difficult task. And somehow I could achieve it. If I tell you one thing, Sanjay, a few months back, I was in Dubai and I bumped into Deepak Parekh Saab. He's my well-wisher. And is also Gujarati, so we conversed in Gujarati. He told me, JK Shah, you did the best thing. Many people know how to grow the business, but not many know how to hang up the boot timely. You could do it. So one, I could, in a way, continue to stay, but as far as financial part is concerned, I could encash my achievement. It served my purpose. Two, my children's career, Vishal and Pooja both are chartered accountants. I had to ensure that when I try to encash my achievement, I don't end up killing their career. Veranda is a holding company. It doesn't do any business. It acquires profit-making companies which are all run by promoters only.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Vishal and Pooja get to do the business for 10 years under my supervision, under my leadership. So I continue, so to say, but financial exit I get. My children get to do the job. So all in all, I could not have asked for anything better than this. I got exit also, and I continue to work also. Once I decide that actively I don't want to work, that time in non-executive position, but I continue as chairman for life. And this is part of the agreement. It's not just verbal promise. Because for me, to be away from JK Shah classes is impossible even to think about. And this deal assures me that I will be there lifetime. One more interesting thing, many people in my coaching industry, they think, and I'm happy they think that way. Yeah. They say that, okay, JK Shah is there up to 25. So let's not do anything up to 25. And once he gets out, and then we'll fight like anything. And I don't do anything to even say they are wrong. I'm happy they are saying that. My own thinking is at least up to 25, I don't have to struggle much to fight. And thereafter we will see. They should understand that the company which puts such a huge money naturally must have ensured that JK Shah will continue and continue for a foreseeable future to ensure that this journey of progress continues like anything.
I'm sure the Veranda shareholders would be extremely thrilled to hear that.
Yes, thank you.
Apart from your other compete who may not be, but I'm sure the shareholders will be super happy to hear that.
Yes.
So I mean, talking about the education sector, after the run they have had in the COVID segment, especially now the online side, it's been really facing some heavy winds. What is your thought, especially this whole, if you could weigh in between the offline and online scheme of things?
I would personally believe that whereas online is doing very well in this part of the industry, but for chartered accountancy exams and especially inter CA and final CA, online may not be the only way to study. Reason being, whether inter or final, roughly 1300 hours of coaching. So even if you make each video of about 3 hours, almost 450 such videos to be watched. It is next to impossible. Secondly, compulsory study is the vital key to CS success. And with online, with the facility to watch it whenever you are free. Actually, students don't watch at all. They don't complete. And ultimately, the result is no better. I personally feel that in time to come, offline will grow like anything. Online will also grow, but not only online. It would be hybrid, where touch of face-to-face also is there and some online. Also, increasingly, I'm seeing that all students are coming for offline coaching, and then just as value addition, some of them go for online coaching also to revise and to see whether anything new is still there, not done at face-to-face coaching classes. In online section also, there are some of the finest faculties, no doubt about it. Good faculties is not monopoly of just JK Shah classes. There are brilliant chartered accountant teachers at JK Shah classes, outside JK Shah classes, in online also. But my personal feeling is that students should first pay attention to offline coaching, and for value addition, they may go for online also, some hybrid also. Yes, there are so many small towns and villages where face-to-face coaching is not available. Then out of compulsion, yes, you will have to go for online. But by choice, one must avoid online as first option. I'm saying this very openly and frankly, though the fact is, my son Vishal is the head of online vertical at JK Shah classes. So my argument is this. It's like cigarette smoking. Like I would say, Sanjay, don't smoke. But if you have to smoke anyway, then buy cigarette from me.
Got it.
So we are doing online business, but students should think about this rationally, because compulsory study is possible only in offline coaching. They may top it up as value addition by taking online as well. Future of offline coaching is very, very bright. Students have started coming back to the classroom, and that is very encouraging fact.
Got it. Sir, what would be your advice to students who are preparing for their CA exams? You mentioned clearly that you need to focus on offline if you have the opportunity. What are some of the other things that you believe that is essential for someone who's taking exams?
Sanjay, one big problem I've been seeing since last 4 or 5 years is that students lack confidence. Students are so much afraid of CA exam. Somehow the society and maybe chartered accountants, maybe the people who failed in past, all put together have created an atmosphere of fear. The students are so much fearful, and today's generation doesn't like to fail. So they would rather say, I will not try, instead of trying and failing. See some results. Unfortunately, CA Institute doesn't do enough to educate the students community. Like if your result is supposing 20%, that doesn't mean out of every 100 people who appeared, 80 have failed and 20 have passed. It is on the whole result. But metro cities result may be as high as 65 to 70%. But in small towns where coaching is not available, result may be even 1%, 2% also. It is average. Secondly, even if Supposing result is 20%. Result is always of students appearing and clearing both the groups. But there can be many who clear one group, other group they clear next time. I would like to tell all students, aspiring as well as current students, that do not be fearful of this exam. It is tough, but not so tough that you cannot make it. I give my own example. I had only 71.5% in SSC, 69.5% in 12th standard in Gujarati medium, where English was not one of the subjects also, and yet I could make it. Exam was neither simple that time nor simple now, but it was not so tough that time or even now that students can't make it. Unfortunate part is some students securing in 12th standard 90%, 93%, and they are also afraid of this. So my one advice to them would be, believe in yourself and prepare well. CA is all about average intelligence and good hard work. It is possible in the first go you may not make it, then try second time, third time. But at the age of 23 or so, easily you can have the qualification, which is so powerful. In a country of 140 crore people, only 3.5 lakhs chartered accountants are there. Just imagine the kind of scope. And one more thing, it is the cheapest qualification to have. So the people who are economically not so strong, CA qualification comes free of charge, including coaching class fees. The total cost is not more than 2.5 lakhs, where the stipend that people get nowadays is more than 2.5 lakhs for 3 years. So at the end, when you become chartered accountant, you emerge as a winner with profit. Unlike science, where you spend a lot of money. So this is wonderful thing. Second thing I'll tell them is, you plan your study very well. No matter what percentage you got, but if you don't plan, then anybody can fail. This exam is that way very tricky. Professional approach is required, but plan it, do it professionally, focus, keep yourself away from social media for last 7-8 months prior to your exam, and be confident, write the papers, and above all, believe in yourself. My own feeling is, anybody who secures a 12th standard, around 80% or above, can easily crack this exam if right approach is there and degree of hard work is also there.
That I'm sure must be music to the ears of a lot of the aspiring chartered accountants. In fact, on that point, I should mention that coincidentally, I was just having a chat with Hitesh Gajaria, your first batch student. And I said, okay, what is that one takeaway from your stint with Professor JK Shah? And he said that what I really gained out of those class, apart from the knowledge, was the confidence and courage he gave me to take the exams. So I think you just echoed the same thing in your last point. So that's exactly what he told me.
If I tell you about Piyush Goyal, when he was preparing for his final CA, I think 3.5 months prior to the exam, he came and met me. He told me, sir, I feel I'm not well prepared. Should I take the drop and appearing for the next exam? So I told him that you let me know subject-wise what and what you have prepared. He told me. And then I told him that at CA exam, you never ever feel you're done enough. You always feel you need more time. But whatever you have done is more than sufficient. Don't ask anyone, and you are appearing for this exam only. And I'm happy to say I was marginally wrong, in the sense, instead of getting first rank, he secured second rank.
Outstanding, sir. Some of these anecdotes are really, really interesting. Sir, thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate it. I look forward to meeting you in person soon. And it's been an absolute honor to have you on this series of Guru Gyan.
Thank you so much, Sanjay, for this opportunity and honor. We'll always be in touch. Thank you so much.